You're tuned in to tomfoolery.
One of the, I think, more, at least from my side, one of the things that gets confused is that marijuana can completely replace opiates 100%. We won't need opiates anymore, and this will end doctors prescribing opiates and get rid of these companies benefiting off of addiction and stuff like that. Is that something that you believe?
No, I do not. Opiates and cannabis work together.
Mhm.
For severe chronic pain, you need an opiate. You need that because cannabis only works at one receptor. Opiates work at a different receptor site, and those receptors have different pain relief. So when you hit the opiate, you're getting a full relief. You're getting that full antagonist. So it's giving you that full nice buzz. When you use cannabis, it's only a partial. So you're working with your body than fully just dumping meds on it and saying, here, work with this. With cannabis, you're working with the body and cannabis. However, with that said, you need both of them to work together, especially on chronic pain patients, people who have intractable pain, people who um, can't handle that much opiates, because you don't need that many opiates when you combine cannabis with it, because it works. They compete, or they don't compete. They work symbiotic together.
Yeah, marijuana actually, from somebody who has taken a long time to study the effects of drugs to his own body.
Uh huh.
I just purely research driven is all it was. I, I
Sure.
yeah. It didn't matter what drug I happened to be doing. If I did that drug and then smoked weed, it heightened it times a
Yes.
100%. It was just a whole. It didn't just make this mixture of two. Like if you take like lots of people like to take cocaine and heroin at the same time and shoot them up, and that's I think it's called a speedball, and it's two totally different things that give you different feelings at the same time,
Yes.
an upper and a downer at the same time, and it kind of counteracts and makes this different feeling. But weed is different. Weed actually just heightens what you're already doing, and then
Yes.
maybe smoking some cigarettes on top of that will do it as well, make it a little bit more and more stronger.
Make what stronger? The
uh,
the high?
yeah, more so with opiates than
Yes.
with marijuana. Yes, with opiates, if you're smoking cigarettes, it kind of intensifies it, but it's a very short uh,
Intensifying.
yes, so it does it
Yeah.
for a very short amount of time, which if you're doing it to get high, you turn around and start chain smoking because you're losing that high so fast now that you got to keep smoking and smoking, which I've been clean for over 10 years this year, and I stopped.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
a
you.
great accomplishment.
Thank you very much. I would wonder. I think that probably it was inconvenient for us to go outside all the time and smoke cigarettes. I would think
Yes.
vaping may be a new life hack for heroin addicts.
It could be. It could be you're hitting those receptors. It'll keep you clean. That's all that counts.
Yeah. Um, One of the things that I worry about, and as somebody who's been to a million NA and AA meetings, and has all of his friends were drug addicts, I it, let me go ahead and just lay the whole thing out there for you. So I worry
Okay.
about whether or not it's going to be a gateway drug still, and I do believe that it's a gateway drug, and I think that one of the issues or one of the reasons it's a gateway drug is because it's illegal. I think that in states where it's illegal, you are now desensitized to doing illegal things. If you're just some, goody two shoes who happens to try smoking weed and you like it and you continue smoking weed, I think that a part, and let me clarify real quick because lots of people like to change the definition of uh, gateway drug. The gateway
Mm-hmm.
drug is, it means that it is a drug that you started off doing and then moved on to harder things. It doesn't mean it's just the first drug you did, and it doesn't mean that it makes you move on to harder things. It means that it is the first drug that you did that kind of opened the gates for harder drugs. And for, I think, for people, or for states where it is illegal, I think that it's actually um, more so of a gateway drug, because you are desensitized to doing illegal acts and being in a criminal world and meeting more and more criminals and drug dealers and all sorts of things. And then these people also, help introduce you to other harder drugs and, move you up that ladder. Now, I've been looking for studies nonstop, and I found some very recently that say that, because what the number that I would look for is overdoses. If I want to know
Mm-hmm.
whether or not there's a difference in a legalized state versus a state where it's still not legalized, I would want to know what the overdose rates are. And what I've seen is that the overdose rates are dropping in states where they are illegal, but they happen to drop at the same exact time Obama put stricter laws on dispensaries selling cannabis. And those two kind of, you would think, would counteract each other. What is your information or your research told you on this?
As a gateway drug, I think your definition is correct that it can be. I know personally you feel like you've you've now experienced a what everybody seems to term a soft high, what cannabis provides, as opposed to a harder drug. Um, in the sense that they've made it illegal, they've made it a substance that is illicit and that people find tempting, and you always want to touch the things you can't have type of mentality. Um, in that sense, cannabis is viewed as a gateway drug because you are being exposed to more violence when it's an illegal substance. You are being exposed to more substance, because then the drug dealer is going to have more on him. He'll have cocaine, he'll have heroin. He won't just have weed, where a dispensary just has cannabis. Um, and until people understand that cannabis is a medicine and people use it medicinally, and not for the high, and understand what that high means. A lot of people, I think, get a misunderstanding of what being high means and how it can destroy your life. When on a medical term, I'm finding strictly on cannabis, there's different highs, because they're hitting different receptors. On a cannabis high, uh, it's not damaging, it's not life altering, because it is only a partial agonist towards that receptor. So it is and it's not. It's from my opinion, I see cannabis as, what I see in the future is everybody using it from 25 up. No, not younger, because younger, there's your endocannabinoid system is developing. By adding cannabis to the mix, you're changing that endocannabinoid system, and that's where there is some research out there indicating that teens exposed to cannabis have a higher incident of irrational behavior, irrational decisions, um, more of the thrill seekers, because it stimulates part of the limbic system. And that's where you want to get into more. You want to experience higher. You want to go for broke, so to speak. And experiencing more drugs can do that. And that's where you're seeking that mentality. But in my view, and where I see cannabis going, I don't view cannabis as that illegal substance to get high, to hang out with your friends and get stoned. I view this as, yeah, you're going to hang out with your friends and get stoned, but you're doing it as a medicinal purpose. You're doing it knowing that you're going to function better on the morrow than you are right now, because it's going to allow you to process more and be calmer on the tomorrow, or be calmer tomorrow than you are today, because you can process things. You can feel like you can breathe a little. That's
So,
my view on it.
because you keep saying, for medicinal use over and over, but it sounds like you're also in favor of recreational use. You just view the recreational use as medicinal use as well.
Correct. Because people are getting high, and there's a reason for that highness, in my belief. There's no science for me backing that up for the reason why people want to get high, but there's a need that people are finding, that they're seeking a need and seeking to get high for some reason. So I'm not stating that being high on cannabis is a bad thing, and being high is a bad thing. There's a stigma associated with it, and I dislike that.